Okay, hello everybody. This is Jackie Cox with Ace Community, and I am super excited. I have Abby Gardner here today with Abby Cooks Wild, and we're just going to have a great conversation about some time-saving tips in the kitchen, perhaps, and some things that she loves to do in the kitchen. So I'm so excited for Abby Gardner to be here. I have been a client of Abby's because guess what? She saved my life when it was only pancakes one night, and that's all we had in the house. And so I decided to hire Abby, and it's been amazing ever since. Her meals are incredible. She's an incredible creative cook, and so I just love her, and I love being able to talk to you. So Abby, welcome to our interview for today.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I love getting to talk to you
Yay!
anytime. So
Yeah.
this is a huge bonus.
Yay, yeah, whether it's on the hiking trail or at meetings or
Yes.
anytime we're having fun. In fact, we're gonna have fun tonight while
Yeah,
we're
that's
at
gonna be
Slick
fun.
City. That's one of our activities that we're doing for Ace Community. So we're going to have some indoor slide fun because that's awesome. And it was per suggestion by Abby because it just sounded fun to her, and then I thought, yes, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
A bunch of adults and one teenager flying off these slides. I think there's nothing greater that should be on a
Yeah.
Wednesday night.
I think it's going to be a great time. I'm really excited about it. And I think I know my family is excited about it. So
Yeah.
we'll have fun.
Yes, awesome, awesome. So that's what we're all about in the ACE community. So adventure, creativity, and enjoyment. And we're all about having fun and cultivating those beautiful relationships by way of just relaxing and just being ourselves and incorporating a little fun while we have some business opportunities as well in the process. So Abby, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about you and your background and how you got
Sure.
started here?
Yeah. So, hi everyone. I'm Abby Gardner. I own Abby Cooks Wild, which is a full service meal prep and delivery company based here in Golden, Colorado. I serve clients through meal prep and delivery, through catering and meal prep for small events. And I also have an online presence where I'm offering several different things for different needs out there that I see. So one is for entrepreneurs who maybe struggle to keep themselves fueled throughout the day. And then I have a kids lunchbox kind of thing that I
Love it.
run. And I've got a couple things in the pipeline for a membership coming out probably early 2025. So super excited.
Ooh, I love that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Are you
Yeah.
are you able to share a little bit more about that, or is that
Sure.
still just kind of in the beginning phase?
Yeah, no, happy to share more. I am planning to offer a monthly online meal prep opportunity for people
Okay.
who maybe need, maybe they want to work with me, but I live in Colorado and they live in Arizona, or
Sure.
so I am building out a monthly subscription or membership, whatever you want to call it, to get those people the opportunity and the accountability to get the meals
Love it.
prepped from their own kitchens. They have access to me. I do all the legwork. I send out the shopping list and I cultivate the menu and help them customize it however they need it to be for their, whatever health journey they might be on. So I'm super excited about it.
Love that.
Yeah, super, super exciting.
That is so awesome. That's such a great fit for you, especially since you're networking pretty well, across the country at this point. And so I think that
Yeah.
that's awesome. And you talked about, the entrepreneurs and what it is to think about that. I work from home constantly, and I have for 10 years, and it seems like it's always on my shoulders, not by guilt of anyone else except me, but always on my shoulders of, dang, what's for dinner tonight? And even when I'm at the grocery store, it's like, if I just knew if I had a plan ahead of time, right? And so it's so nice to know that that is an option, that you're cultivating that and saving the time for people, because it's, oh my gosh, that's so important. So let's
Yeah.
talk about that a little bit with the
Yeah.
time saving piece of it. I mean, I know that you've saved a ton of time off of my day, and
Yeah.
and that question of, well, what's for dinner tonight, is not so stressful anymore. My husband is very kind, and he always offers to stop at the grocery store on the way by, but sometimes I don't even know where to start with that,
Right.
right? And so
Yeah.
with your meals, that has helped. But let's talk a little bit about time saving, about how some of those things that you have seen just being more prepared, being more aware of what's happening in your kitchen.
Yeah, I think it comes down to planning.
Yeah.
I can hear the groans and I can see the eye rolls right now. So get it out of your system.
Yeah.
But I kind of view like the pantry as like the basement of everything, and then your
Sure.
fridge and your freezer are kind of like your next two layers. And if
Yeah.
you have those three things well stocked, then your time is cut significantly because you have stuff on hand already. And
Yeah.
it's just a matter of figuring out, okay, which protein do I want to use? Where do I want to throw a salad together? Do I want to, nuke some broccoli? And then you go into the pantry for everything else. But I think from a time saving standpoint, aside from planning it out, I think somewhere, I don't know where it's written. I've never seen the official document, but women in general, it
Yeah.
always seems to fall on us to make these decisions.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying because
Yes. Yes, it is.
because why does it have to fall on me? Like, my
Right.
husband is a very well-educated man. I
Yes.
know from having known him for many, many years, he's capable, but it's hard for him. Like, it's not his skill set, but
Yeah.
he can figure it out.
Yes.
So I get irritated with him when he doesn't, you know, when he comes home and the first thing is what's for dinner. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know where it's written, but I do think that as women, we take that role on,
Sure.
and it's exhausting. So
Yeah.
I try to involve my family in
Yeah. Love
what
that.
we're doing. So I didn't bring it over here on camera with me, but I have a little whiteboard
Oh
that
yeah.
is Sunday through Saturday. And
Yeah.
every week, like when they're passing through, I'll be like, hey, what haven't we had in a while? And what do you want for dinner one
Oh,
night
that's
this
a great
week?
idea.
And then I just write it on the whiteboard. And there have been times my son has said, can we just do hot dogs? Sure. And I put it on there because it's less stress on me to have to figure out what I'm going
Yes.
to make. Plus, I'm not cooking 7 nights a week. I don't know anyone who cooks 7 nights a
No.
week.
No.
So if you can plan for 2 or 3 nights per week, you're pretty much set, because then you can have the leftovers, unless you're
Yes.
like me and you don't like leftovers. Um, but if you make enough, then you have enough for lunch, you have enough for maybe dinners, and you can add
Right.
some other things in for variety. So that's one big time saver. And
Yeah.
a couple other things that I always try to keep on hand to save me time, mainly for lunches,
Yeah.
especially because, like you, I'm an entrepreneurial woman. I'm running
Right.
around all the time. I try to keep a rotisserie chicken in the fridge at all
Oh,
times.
great idea.
Just because it's an easy thing to grab. I can cube it up, throw it on a salad, which leads me to my next one, which is have a garden salad on hand all the time.
All the
It takes
time.
what, 10 minutes to make it, maybe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then if you have the cubed chicken, the rotisserie chicken, that's built-in lunch, and then your salad is a built-in side dish for whatever you're putting on the table for dinner. And then you don't
Beautiful.
have to think because it's already made.
Beautiful. I love that. And I mean, I definitely have my go-tos, and I think most people do too. I mean,
Yeah.
there's always carrots, there's always peppers in the fridge, and oftentimes there's broccoli and maybe a cucumber if it hasn't gone,
I know. I
Um,
know. I'm in the same way. Yeah.
yeah, and so I know that we can do some basic things with those, having a good foundation of some solid vegetables and some good protein. I know we can do some basic things. It's like I fall into a rut. So how do you help your clients get out of those ruts of like, oh, well, we're having chicken and roasted peppers again
Yeah.
tonight,
I
um,
think, yeah.
versus feeling a little bit more creative with spices or whatever. What do you offer for advice there?
I think, we fall back into those ruts because
Yeah,
we know we're on autopilot. We know we have
yeah,
it. We know we can just get it on the table. So maybe instead of chicken and peppers, you mix it up and you throw a sweet potato in to bake instead. It doesn't have to be a big, like, major shift.
Yeah.
Or use shrimp instead of chicken, because
Oh,
shrimp cooks up really quickly. And if you always have it on hand, which
true.
I tend to usually keep a pound or two in my freezer
Hmm.
so that I can thaw it out quickly, because it literally, you just run it under
Yeah.
the water and it thaws and you can get it on the table.
True.
So, just easy swaps, or easy,
Hmm.
if you don't want to use, I'm just trying to think of like common seasonings that people have on hand, like taco seasoning or ranch seasoning, like
Yeah.
you can interchange those a little bit. You can combine them and,
Yeah. Getting
and kind of,
crazy.
yeah, go wild. And sprinkle that on instead of just one or the other, or your straight up, salt and pepper.
Yeah.
But I encourage people to go through their spice connect cabinets too, because it's amazing what you have and you don't even remember that you have it.
So true. So true. Last night, I pulled together, let's face it, Pinterest pulled together a quick recipe. And that's what my search was. When I went, I knew I had chicken in the fridge and I knew I wasn't going to spend a lot of time at the grocery store yesterday. But I was like, okay, what's a quick summer chicken recipe? And they popped up with chicken caprese.
Uh-huh.
So, you get a little mozzarella cheese, you get some Roma
Yeah,
tomatoes,
so easy.
balsamic, which you always have on hand, and then so easy. Well, come to find out, in my spice cabinet that had not been looked at in a while, there was some dried basil because the grocery store didn't have fresh basil. So I was feeling a little disappointed because I was missing out on the basil part of the caprese, but I had dried basil and didn't even realize it. And I was like, oh, hey, look what appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's true. And I think people are hesitant to buy spices because there's this idea that they'll only use it for one recipe and then never use it again. But
Sure.
you can do searches for recipes that use the spices you have, but
It's
people
true.
don't think about that. They're always
Yeah,
leading with their protein or leading with other things. So
that's
you can
true.
search for recipes using the spices you have on hand. And yes, I know the next question, someone's going to be watching and ask, like, do spices go bad? Yes and no.
Right.
Like, if you have something in your spice cabinet from, 1993, it's probably time to part with it. You know?
30 years, maybe a little
But
too long.
yeah, but there are people, like, I've done this, like back in the day, I used to have people bring like the oldest spice that they had in their spice rack, and it was like 10 years, 12 years, because people forget.
Right.
Like, you can keep it for a couple years and it's
Yeah.
fine, you just need to use a little bit more of it.
Right. Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good point. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you just don't think about it because they're dried and they're sealed or whatever, but they do lose their flavor and their luster and all of the good things about
yeah,
spices. Are you going to get sick from it? Probably not. Now,
yeah.
I'm not here to say one way or another, but probably not. You're going to get sick, but it probably just doesn't taste like anything
Right,
anymore. And
right,
then you probably think, well, why did I even use that spice? It doesn't do anything. That's
right.
my long, never-ending question about bay leaves, but that's for another day. I have no idea what bay leaves are for, but yet I have them and I use them in recipes all the time, and they're fresh. I mean, I know that, well, they're
They're,
recent. They're
they're,
dry, but they're
yeah,
fresh.
yeah,
And so I know that they're good yet. I just have no idea what the use of it is. But again, another conversation.
yeah, no worries. Yeah, they do have a purpose. Yeah.
I would love to know that answer one day, but I just every time I put one in, I'm like, what the hell is this
What is
for?
this for? Yeah,
What's it doing to this, simmering thing that's happening right
right, right.
now? But so Abby, talk to us a little bit about, some of the things. How did you get into cooking like this? How did you find a love for it? How did you know that you wanted to help clients with this?
Well, I'll share a little story with you.
Yeah.
And my mother, who will be at the ACE meeting on
Yes.
August 7th, will attest to this. But I went to college and I didn't know how to do anything. In fact, I called her from my dorm room and asked her how to boil water, because I had one of those electric hot pot things that
Yeah.
were considered illegal back in the day. I
Yes.
think they still are, actually, but
Yes.
everyone had them.
Yep.
I was
Gotta
trying
make
to make
macaroni and cheese
ramen.
with them.
Yeah, I was trying to make ramen. And I was like, Mom, I don't know how to do this. And I can still hear her laughing at me because she tried to teach me how to do some of these things.
Oh
And
no.
it wasn't until, I don't know, a long time later. I think since I had graduated and I was living with my husband in Alabama and, had to figure out how to make stuff.
That's
So,
right.
I went to the best grocery store in the town that we lived in was a Walmart Supercenter,
Ooh,
which is the reason I don't like going there anymore.
right.
But I went and I bought like a Betty Crocker cookbook or something because I
Yeah.
knew I could follow a recipe, but I didn't know how to do all the things. So that's how I pretty much taught myself.
Yeah.
And then over time, like how I came into doing what I'm doing now, I really don't know. Kind of, it just kind of fell. It was an accident.
Evolves.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
my, I spent 20 plus years working in sports medicine and orthopedics, triaging
Yeah.
athletic injuries and rehabilitating athletes to get back on the field. I mean, that's what I thought I was going to do for forever. And then when my kids were young, I would go to those make and take dinner places
Oh
because
yeah.
I didn't have the time I didn't want to have to think about it. And
Right.
then, the recession hit and I had to kind of,
Sure.
um, take a step back from that.
Sure.
Um, but when my son started kindergarten, I started like looking for something to do, and I was introduced to a direct sales company called Wild Tree, and that's kind of how things evolved or
Yeah.
started. But I learned real quick with Wild Tree, I didn't like sales parties, and the people who were at the parties didn't want to be there either. They just wanted dinners. So I
Oh
figured I started listening to conversations, and I would hear, oh, I wish I could hire someone to do this for me. And I'm like, well, heck, I'll do it for you.
yeah.
So it kind of started like that. And then I got out of that direct sales kind of I got out from under that umbrella because I didn't enjoy it. And Abby Cooks Wild just was kind of born out of that.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love it. And I love the evolution that I've seen over the years. I mean, Abby, you and I have known each other for about that 9 years. I mean, I
Is that
remember when
crazy?
your son was so little and it's like, oh my goodness. And so I've loved seeing the evolution of where you've come so far
Yeah.
and now it's so natural for, I mean, again, I'm definitely in your meal plan and meal service and I love it. We both do. And every once in a while I hear Jeff say, the cuss words come out in excitement of like, this is so amazing, and I was like, I know. And all I had to do is thaw it out and put it in the oven or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's just been awesome to see your evolution of
Thank
all of this.
you.
And now, I not only think of you for meal service, but I think of you for catering and stuff too. I mean, I think it's just like that has been the natural progression for you. And I think that that's just been really awesome to see. So you're doing a great job with, getting yourself out there and how you've evolved with all of this too. So it's just been awesome to see.
Jackie, thank you for saying that. I'm going to remember that on days when I'm feeling like, why, am I really meant to be doing all of this? So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you are. You absolutely are. And I love that you have the whiteboard and things. All those things are super helpful. I mean, it's, I love to think that I would every Sunday, I would love to think that I'm going to plan every week, but I often don't. And that's okay. But
It's
I
totally
love being
fine.
able to have, some go-tos. And with a household of two only, your meals are perfect because it's us for that dinner and then one leftover, which is perfect for us because we're
Yeah.
not amazing with leftovers either.
Mhm.
Oftentimes Jeff will take it to work, or then because I'm working from home, it's a meal for me right then, right there, the next day. Because otherwise, if it sits there past 24 hours for us, or even the 12 hours or whatever, it's done. I mean, it just sits there then. And so I love it for us because it's like we get two meals at night and then one extra, which is perfect. It's so perfect.
Yay. Yeah, I hear
So
that a lot from families, like smaller families, like
yeah,
singles or people who are empty nesters or,
yeah,
professional couples that may not have kids. How hard it is to cook for one or for two. And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
splitting the recipes is a great strategy because you
Awesome.
can cook once and then you have what you need.
Yes, exactly, exactly. No, I love it. So, since we are a part of ACE community, which I love that you're part of this community,
Yeah.
and we are, our center focus is around fun and being able to prioritize fun more. What do you think that you are looking, when it comes to fun, what are some types of things that you kind of go to or want to do or lean in on because you think I would love to try that or I would like to try something new?
Well, I will say that some of the things that you have organized through ACE fall under that category, which is one of the big reasons I decided to participate is because I
Yeah.
knew I needed more of that in my life. So what do I gravitate towards? I think this is going to sound really boring, but one of the things I do most to kind of just calm down or
Mhm.
just is just curl up with a good book. Like I don't even get to
Love
sit
it.
and read much,
Yeah,
as much as I would like.
I
So
love it.
I love doing that. And then activity wise, I used to be a big runner and into CrossFit and all that. And I know when we met that I was really into all that. And my body has just not, my body's kind of gone on strike with menopause and all that. So I haven't been
Right.
doing any of those things. So I would like to get back into some sort of routine where I'm being physically active without
Sure.
feeling like I'm gonna break my hip or or
Yeah,
overdo it where I'm so sore that I can't walk for a week. I can't
right,
I can't do those kinds of activities anymore. So
right.
yeah, I'm looking out for things like that. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I mean, I think it's good to have some variety because oftentimes, some of the activities we're doing, it's not that we haven't ever done them, maybe, but we
Okay.
just don't think to do them,
Yeah,
like going down indoor slides. I mean, I just think that that sounds
it'd
so
be
fun.
so
And so
fun.
I've been looking forward to this one for the last couple of months when we
Yeah.
started planning it. And it's just, you just don't think of it, right? Because it's
You
like,
don't.
well, that's for kids. Well,
Yeah.
no, I
No.
disagree with that 100% because it's not just for kids. And most of these places, they actually encourage, the groups and the corporate groups and team building and things like that. Well, those types of events then are a lot of adults. And so they're actually not just for kids and they're not just for people who have kids. And so
Yeah.
I think that that's kind of important to remember too is a lot of things that we're doing, it's just because it's fun and we just get to be free again and not have to think about it for a couple nights, or a couple hours rather. And it's like,
Right.
let's just go and giggle and have fun. And I just think that that's, the key and I love it. And so I love when all of our members and guests are just sitting there giggling and laughing. And it's just the pure joy that comes out of these events. So it's awesome. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to get a little insight there. But so, Abby, as we wind down here, I know you're an avid traveler. And
Yeah.
so I like to call my bucket list my Embrace Life Now list. And so, where is the next place that you would like to embrace or experience and just really feel connected to as you're traveling?
So you know that Jace and I went to Las Vegas to see Lady Gaga
Yes,
a few weeks ago.
yes.
And while we were there, we booked a trip to Egypt.
Did you really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for next spring. So there's a lot of life that is going to happen between now and then. There's an election, there's
Yes.
still stuff, there's still some wonky stuff going on in that part of the
Yeah.
world. We're gonna
Yeah.
kind of wait and see. But the plan is both kids have the same spring break. So we are planning to go and take them and go check out the pyramids and ride camels and go do
Oh,
all the things. So if that goes, it'll be awesome. And then if not, I would really love to go to the Galapagos Islands.
sure. Yes. Are you a
Yeah.
you're not a diver. You don't like the water that much.
I am not a water person, but I love the tortoises. I want to go,
Yes.
I want to just go and watch the tortoises for,
Oh, that does sound really pretty awesome.
yeah, Easter Island, like that whole area. I would love
Yeah.
to go there.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Awesome. Oh, I love it. I always love hearing your adventures that you do with your family. And I mean, it's so experiential when I hear back from your experience, it's like, oh my gosh, they were in it, fully in it. And I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, I love being able to go and see the world. I mean, there's so
Yes,
much out there, and it's always great to come home, but it's really cool to go out there and
yes.
just kind of see how other people do life.
Yes, absolutely. No, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. So, Abby, how do people get in touch with you as you're there working and thinking, "Oh my gosh, I don't even know want to think about what's for dinner," or they're thinking of their next event for catering and things like that. How do they get in touch with
Yeah.
you?
My website is a great way to get in touch with me. There's a little thing on there you can fill out and it'll send me a little email. AbbyCooksWild.com,
Great.
ABBY. Or you can call me direct
Okay.
720-233-6666.
Awesome. Yeah, you have the best number. I love you. Every time I see your number, I'm like, wow, that's so very easy. Um, so awesome. Well, abbycookswild.com, and she's been a lifesaver for me for sure. Abby, you've been amazing.
Thank you.
And we have a couple of events coming up within the ACE community that I know Abby will be, at least have the opportunity to, shine and things like that. Abby will be our featured speaker coming up on our meeting Wednesday, August 7th. We do meet from 4 to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. We are local in Colorado at Castle Rock, so Bucket List Tavern in Castle Rock. So Abby will take the stage take the floor. There's no stage, but take the floor for about 30 minutes. So she's going to talk to us more about these time-saving tips and more kitchen ideas, and just keeping you in the space of feeling good about what's for dinner tonight in those next steps. So Abby, thank you so much for coming on with me today. It's been amazing. I always love talking to you and could talk to you for you and your family for hours.
Yeah,
So
thank you, Jackie. I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
absolutely. So thanks everybody. I hope to see you on Wednesday, August 7th in Castle Rock. Have a great day.